morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, October 11th, 2013. If you're listening to this on the radio and wish to watch it, please go to www.catex.com. The U.S. government shutdown is still in progress. There's also the lingering concerns about the debt limit extension, which comes due on October 17th. However, the two sides are talking. The stock market jumped 300 points yesterday. Futures once again look to be pretty high. The Republicans apparently have proposed a plan in which they would give a 8-week interregnum by passing clean bills to allow for continued discussion on budget cuts. Also, the Wall Street Journal reported new polling data indicating that the Republican Party is being held in the lowest esteem level since the modern era began, i.e. since polling began. Also, business groups are beginning to complain, according to the Wall Street Journal, that they are dissatisfied with the Republicans whom they had contributed money to elect. So there's a lot of pressure right now on Speaker Boehner. The facility in West Texas at the Adair Grain Company that exploded back in April, that created a crater 100 feet by 10 feet wide, was cited yesterday by the Occupation Safety and Health Administration. 24 violations of worker safety protections were issued. A fine of some $120,000 is going to have to be paid. This will have insurance ramifications for sure. There's a gigantic cyclone approaching eastern India right now, forcing the evacuation of hundreds of thousands of people. The cyclone is named Phalin, P-H-A-I-L-I-N. It's apparently about 300 miles off the coast in the Bay of Bengal right now of the state of Andhra Pradesh. The cyclone itself is about half the size of India, and the U.S. Naval Observatory and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center is predicting wind gusts of 200 miles per hour. It's being termed a super cyclone and is expected to cause significant damage. A fire at a hospital in southern Japan in the city of Fukuoka killed 10 elderly people. It was an orthopedic hospital, a 4-story building that was built in 1970. J.P. Morgan Chase posted a $380 million third quarter loss. It included the fact that the bank had paid $9.2 billion in legal fees and settlements of regulatory disputes stemming from the mortgage crisis and other issues. Excluding special charges, the bank actually did pretty well. It earned about $5.8 billion. During the quarter, J.P. Morgan agreed to pay $920 million in fines and admitted that it had failed to properly supervise traders who caused a $6 billion loss for trades conducted by the London whale. The Nobel Peace Prize was awarded this morning. It was awarded to the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, which is overseeing the destruction of the Syrian chemical weapons arsenal. I think that's well deserved. Capacity prices at Lloyd's rose by nearly 2/3. This is as a result of the second capacity auction of the year in 2013. Figures from the agent Argenta shows that the right to provide 1 pound of underwriting capacity at Lloyd's sold for an average of 30.6 pence at the auction in early October. This is up from about 18 pence a year ago. These auctions are when names give up their capacity pen, and it's auctioned off to anybody who wishes to come in. There were a couple of earthquakes. A 5.2 struck Taiwan in the southern part of the country last night. Did not cause any damage, but it did cause some shaking. And there was a 2.5 earthquake in central New Hampshire last night at about 9 o'clock. Due to the lapse in federal funding, the U.S. Geological Service Earthquake Hazards Program has suspended its operations, so there's not too much information available about this earthquake. And yesterday in England, there was an IPO, an initial public offering of the Postal Service. The Royal Mail went on the street, and they did pretty well. Shares in the Royal Mail soared by as much as 38%. And the government sold a 52% stake in the company. It raised about $2.8 billion. 10% of the company was handed over to Royal Mail employees. Maybe that's something that will happen to the U.S. Post Office someday. That's the news for today. If we have anything breaking, we'll come back and tell you. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you Monday.